you've been feeling the call to write a book, it is no accident. Your book is needed in the world, so let's make it happen. I'm Nicola Humber, and this is the Unbound Writers Club. Hello and welcome to the Unbound Writers Club. Today I am joined by such a special guest. I mean, all of my guests in the Unbound Writers Club are special, but today we are excelling ourselves. We have the wonderful, the fabulous Pearl Jordan, author of one of our latest releases at the Unbound Press, Dancing to the Rhythm of Your Life. Pearl has been a member of the Unbound writing community almost since the beginning, from very early on, and her book has finally made its way into the world. You may have heard me talking with Pearl before. She is one of my very favourite people in the world. Not that I should have favourites, but she is. She's a former jazz dancer, choreographer who changed tracks and became a transformational speaker, coach, homeopath, healer. Like, she's got so many like magical skills under her belt, so many incredible stories. When she was part of, well, she still is, but when she was part of the Unbound Writing Mastermind in particular, sometimes she would tell us a story and it'd be like, what, why have we never heard this before? Like, that needs to go in the book. You'll need to read the book to kind of know all of the stories. Anyway, can you tell I'm excited? Excited for you to dive into this conversation, to meet Pearl if you haven't met her before, to reconnect with her if you have met her before, and to hear more about her book birthing journey. And yeah, a lot of it, I'm sure you'll be able to relate to your own experience. Anyway, let's dive in. So, Pearl, welcome back to the Unbound Writers Club, because you have been on the podcast before, actually, during your book writing journey. We did an episode with Dine about your like writing retreat that you did together.
Yeah.
And now Dancing to the Rhythm of Your Life is out in the world, doing its thing. Very, very excited to talk about that. Before we dive in, I'm going to ask you a question I always ask at the beginning of these conversations, which is, what makes you, in particular, an unbound writer? Is there like some kind of old belief, story, like pattern that you had to liberate yourself from to write your book?
Yeah, that I didn't know how to write a book.
Mm-hmm. It's quite a
Mm.
biggie.
Yeah, that I had a lot of limiting beliefs around what writing involved and the rules, and that I was convinced there was no way in my lifetime
Mm.
I'd ever be able to do such a thing or get over the writing fear. So that was deep stuff, decades worth, well, from school days. So that's a long time of holding on to a
Yeah.
belief that there are specific rules around writing and that they didn't belong to me because I had no understanding of them.
Mm.
So grammar, punctuation, almost sort of valid, but limiting and squeezing, you know, boxing me, making me feel very insecure and inadequate and useless. And the one time that I did manage to write something that I was really proud of during my degree, performing arts degree, and I think it was like an A, and they called me in to have a conversation, and I was so excited. I thought they must be like, whoa, look at Pearl. And actually they were checking in to see how it was that I actually, and if indeed it was my writing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that's the stuff that I've been carrying a
Yeah.
very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of unbinding to be done.
Mm. A lot, a lot. And if it wasn't in the Unbound, community, I don't know I'd ever have written a book because, I joined you to get over, I just need to get over all the fear and anxiety around writing. It just felt like it was time. For whatever reason, pandemic. I think we were all being
Yeah.
faced with many fears and stuff, and yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to challenge myself to see if I could get over it at last, because it'd been, limiting me in many ways throughout my life.
Yeah.
And so it was essential that I was in a space that where there were actually no rules other than your rules, where you're encouraged to just be in the space and explore and see what comes up for you,
Yeah.
and to trust that process. So yeah, I had to learn a new level of trust.
Yeah.
That was difficult in that space, writing space. And often I would go back into my head, and then I could write nothing because all I can hear are all the rules and all the reasons why and being called in and all that stuff. And so just kept on dropping into my heart, which is what you encourage anyway.
Yeah.
Keep on dropping back into your heart and trusting your process. And actually, there was no one to impress. It was just, you know, going on the journey of it and just seeing what it brings. So the Unbound community was perfect for that. I think if you had created a space where I felt at any point there were rules,
Mm.
because of course there's structure
Yeah.
within things, of course, but it's having the flexibility within the structure to play and
Yeah.
see what it brings. And that was very important and freeing for me, because what came up, because I was in a space of trying to liberate myself
Mm.
in my writing, then all other areas of my life where I needed liberating started flagging up.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the stories started coming through. And I was like, oh my God, I'm being held here and held there, and all these weeds. So they all started coming up because I was giving myself permission to let go of one set of strangulation. And then the other's like, hey, my turn, my turn. It's like, yeah, okay, pop it up. My turn, my
Well, yeah, because once we start this unbind it, like we can't like do it in isolation. It's not just okay, I'm just gonna do this for my book and everything else can is just gonna like tick along in the same way. It's impossible. It's impossible. I mean, somebody could listen to that, Pearl, like what you just shared around like this deep conditioning you had around writing and think, well, like what on earth made you decide to write a book then? Because that's quite a massive, that's not just writing, a piece to share on social media or in an article. Like to commit to writing a book, it must have been a really strong calling for you. I know, when you began the process, it was 2020, pandemic. A lot of people like started to do things differently then. But what was it that made you decide to write your book? And this book in particular, I guess.
Well, again, the unbound space, in a way, well, it's not in a way, the unbound space is all about allowing your freedom, giving yourself permission, however that shows up.
Yeah.
And so, within the community, I guess other people were mentioning their books and writing, and it was just like, wow, as if ever in my head. Yeah, right, as if ever. It was so beautiful to be in the space. I think once I started sharing, because we had the opportunity to share, once I started sharing pieces and realized that I was getting good feedback and
Mm,
stuff, and I started to feel confident. I was like, oh, it actually makes sense to others. Oh, so well, it's a confidence building then, isn't it?
mm,
Oh, I started to believe in, in my head, I'm hearing madness, to believe in the madness of my writing or the messiness of my writing, and
mm.
know that it was okay. And then I think as part of my writing process, there was a visualization you did with us. It's part of the process of
Yeah.
writing. And I used to repeat that often, often. And I saw the book. live, as you know. So before a book, I knew there was I thought, oh, write a book. And I always knew it was live. That's all I could see. And I used to say that over and over again. I mean,
Hmm.
we really have had it with me in my live on tour thing because that's what came first.
Yeah.
That's what came first. Me walking on stage with a book and people, and then us all having conversations and encouraging us all to be really vulnerable in the space and to share our stories and being the joy of all that stuff. I could feel it, I could see it. So when you did those visualizations, and it's part of your process anyway, it used to really waken that up within me.
Mm,
And so there was that, and then dancing to the rhythm of your life. That was very clear,
mm.
very quickly. And then, actually, as part of putting the book together about a month or so ago, because I used to be part of the Professional Speaking Association, and about a month or so, I found an introduction to an MC introduction to me, and it says Pearl Jordan speaks on dancing to the rhythm of your life. And I
Wow.
was
When was that from?
that would have been 2017 or 16.
Wow.
And
Oh,
so I knew as a speaker, I use movement and stuff, and I was always talking about dancing and rhythm, being jazz. It's always about the rhythm. But when I saw that MC introduction, I thought, oh my gosh, I was already there.
yeah.
I didn't know it.
Yeah.
And actually, from 2017 to now was my huge transformational time of revisiting who I am and my truth and stuff. So it was already there, but I didn't understand it.
Wow.
I didn't even do it. I mean, I must have done something that made that be the introduction, but I can't even remember it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's been sitting there potentially all this time.
But as you're saying that, like 2017 was like we're in a 9 year now, a year of completion. 2017 was the first year one of that like cycle. So how
Mm.
amazing that, you know, dancing to the rhythm of your life was there. Like you didn't know what it wanted to be, but that phrase was with you, that idea. And in this 9 year, like in terms of numerology, if people are listening, are like, what are they going on about?
Yeah,
You know, it's reached that culmination of actually being a book and going out into the world.
absolutely. And it was interesting because I would say dancing to the rhythm of your life, and people would repeat it as dance to the rhythm of your life. And I thought, oh, maybe it's supposed to be titled Dance to the Rhythm of Life. And I sat with it and I thought, no, it really is dancing because
Mm,
17, I have been dancing
mm,
or exploring what it means to be in the doing, the being, of dancing to the rhythm of your life. So it's not, it's deeper, which is why I wanted it to be dancing,
yeah.
because going within. And what does it mean? What is your rhythm? Or what does it mean to actually be dancing along in life, with the rhythm of your life?
Mm, mm, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
So,
sorry, go on.
no, 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 that's it. That's it.
I mean, it's a deep book, actually. As you're saying that, it is. It's, you know, people could maybe hear the title, Dancing to the Rhythm of Your Life, and like connect with the joy of that with dancing. But there are many different layers to this book, aren't there? I mean, how was the process for you bringing through these different like these different flavors that wanted to come through?
Well, it was very clear that there are certain threads, like my
Mm,
golden thread that I wanted. So I knew, well, that through the eye of dance needed to come through. So life lessons through dance, because there are many of those. So I knew that. I also knew that my spirituality, I wanted to come through.
mm,
And I also knew, so what was the third? So it was dancing, the spirituality, my culture. I
mm,
wanted there to be a sense of this is a Black British woman writing this.
Mm,
That was very important, which is why I gave time to describing what it was like, in the old borough of Paddington where I was brought up and stuff like that. Which is why it was important for me to bring in my language that you don't hear
mm,
unless you know St. Lucians speak this patois.
mm,
And then the overall arch was that the reader comes through this knowing that life is forever evolving, so the journey never ends.
mm,
And that me sharing my stories, this was just like one part, one scene within many scenes.
mm,
And that when we came to I always wanted it to be open. So it's like, here are my stories, here are my experiences, and I keep it open for you to decide or what might it spark for you without. I wanted it to be a more subtle, so a conversation like we're having now. So
yeah.
the conversational part of it was really important to me, so that even if I had a question, I was like, yeah, how would you have that? How would that happen if you were with your mate?
Yeah.
So I did my best to remain true to those.
Yeah.
So they were like bullet point intentions,
Yeah.
and then I thought they're on my wall, if they're just the bullet points, and I thought your intention. You know that once you've set an intent, you don't even have to think about it a lot because it's set.
Yeah. 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 And we would often have the conversation like the book is here, like it's done. Um, even when it was like, but
I
is it
know.
though? Is it? And now it is.
Well, the book had a very strong spirit.
It really.
Oh my God, I found something on the wall because obviously I've recently cleared the wall,
Mm,
this that had all the bits and pieces. And I found a writing from the spirit of my book, which you encourage you
yeah.
mentioned that. And it's here. Oh my gosh, it's here. And she describes herself, apart from being Serafina Bukina, as a cluster of, oh, where is it? Yeah. Oh, and she comes and play shop. Nicola, this is you, right? So you run so much for us along the way to help us find our way. So this is dated the 2nd of the 3rd, 22.
Wow.
Play shop, recommitting to my book.
Ah, I remember. I remember running that session.
Yeah, and it talks about the book and the voice of the book, allowing the voice of the book to lead. And one of the things the spirit says is that we are a cluster of one, and
Mm,
stardust, like a shower of stardust sparkling through. Allow us to lead, allow us to create the jigsaw puzzle, to paint the portrait. Are you ready?
wow. Wow.
I just found that the other day.
So amazing to reflect back. I mean, that was a good, well, at least 3.5 years ago,
Yeah,
March 2022.
yeah. So
Wow.
interesting, isn't it?
It really is. It really, and it is this process of like recommitting, like coming back into connection with your book. Like, you know this, you've lived it, you've experienced it, and you've reached, like I say, this point now where your book is out there doing her magical thing. I mean, how did you move through the fears and doubts that came up along the way? Was there anything in particular that you did to support yourself?
Never underestimating being part of the group and being able to connect.
Yeah.
That's so important, to feel that you're being held,
Mm.
no
Yeah.
matter what. No judgments, none of that. A safe space. I use the word safe because a lot of the anxiety or the times when I went through blockages and struggles is because my inner child didn't feel safe. Like, are you
Mm.
sure you can do this? Are you sure this is safe? So there was a lot of that. Even last week there was some of that.
Yeah.
I realized because I'm getting such incredible feedback about the book and how it's
Wow.
people's lives. I can't tell you. Even today, I've just got another one of those. And what it
Wow.
people. And yeah, and so, but then I started to feel a real sense of like energy draining, and I was like, what's going on? And I know I'd been on your writers retreat, and that in itself is an activation, but I was like, this is familiar and yet it's not. What is this? And then I
Mm,
realized through journaling and meditating and using oracle cards and dancing, I realized I was dancing less and less. So I had to really
mm,
get myself moving again. I go for walks in nature, all those kind of things that support me. But then I realized it was my inner child not feeling safe because of all the great feedback and
mm.
stuff that was coming, which is a theme in the book.
Yeah, yeah, it totally, totally. Yeah,
And I was like, look at that. How all that feeling, it was again the same as the repeat of the pattern. I don't know how to handle this. It feels as if I'm being appreciated. You know,
yeah,
it's the same voice. So I had to really sit with my inner child again and say, it's okay. We are safe. You're safe.
yeah.
We are safe. So and I'm like, this book is like a activation in itself, actually, because it's activating me more every time I read snippets and stuff. Every time I share it, because I'm doing that with every opportunity. Everyone asks me to do anything, speaking or anything, I go, I got in my book, right?
Yeah,
But every time I do that, it's like an activation.
yeah,
How are you really dancing to rhythm? Are you dancing to rhythm of your life? Are you still in the integrity of this? Are you still in the authenticity of this? Are you just reading me or are you here? Can you remember the intention? It's all this. Can you remember the intention? The intention is this. Remember to help others to dance, tune
yeah.
into this. So it's like an activation.
They don't let you off the hook, even once
Oh
they're
my God.
done. They're like, hang on, that's not the end of the journey. Like our books take us on this journey deeper as we're writing them. And once they start going out and connecting with people, yeah, that's a whole other level of the journey. And thank you for actually naming that and talking about it because I think sometimes authors can feel, particularly first time authors can feel like, oh, there's something wrong with them when these feelings are coming up when their book is out in the world and it should be this time of, should in inverted commas, be this time of celebration. And, oh, now I just get to like reap the rewards of, like completing this amazing project. But actually, there are all these different things that can come up. And I feel that piece around actually allowing ourselves to receive like praise, acknowledgement, like really powerful feedback, like really allowing ourselves to have that impact that our books get to have. Sometimes that can stop someone from actually completing their book and publishing it. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna rewrite this bit, and we end up just staying in those final phases because a part of us is scared of actually putting it out there and receiving what wants to come in
Yeah.
response.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I know I have my friends and I've got my fan club. So they're going to
Which I am part of, can I just say?
my fan club. So I'm in a way feedback from them. I trust feedback. When I say fan club, is the fan club who will say what they found were, what they found didn't work. We can have a healthy conversation around things. But I'm hearing back from people I don't, via friends who passed on the book, from people I don't know, and I'm going, wow, this is powerful stuff. This is what I felt. All the feeling when I say walking out with the book, people are actually feeding back in the way where it's just touching their soul,
Mm,
and I'm like, oh, this is deep. This is and when for a while, when it's out there after the book festival, I'm like, yeah, it's Queen's Park Book Festival that I
mm,
did, more available and out there. And I was like, oh, what is it? I've let you go. And what is that? Oh, it's not my, I know my fan club. I know they're going to come back with, but it's the, oh, what does that world who doesn't know,
Mm,
don't know me,
yeah,
and via, obviously, people are getting finding my book right now through friends and contacts. How else are they finding it right now? And then I'm getting such, oh, just touching my heart. Today I had another, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is doing so. Again, it's remaining in the space of trust because it's early days, transition period.
yeah,
I've been going through quite a bit of, well, change brings. So I've been in quite a period of, right, there's so much I want to do. There's so many ways I want to bring her out, and it's juggling that, it's what to let go and how to organize and put systems, which I'm not really great at systems. I just want to do and be out there. And so that's been quite a challenge. But I guess every time I receive feedback, I go, okay, you're doing your thing. So I need to trust that you're in charge,
yeah,
you're doing the thing, and I just need to do what I feel that I need to do here. But I don't have to go into a panic, which is what I was beginning to do about, come on, I've got to get, and it's like, now, no, breathe, breathe.
yeah,
The energy of the book is doing its thing. Just stay
totally.
focused, trust, keep on trusting and breathing. It's all good and in its time.
Yeah, there's so much time and space. Like on the other side of the publication date, like you've got all the time in the world, to put things in place in your own timing. The book will guide you. It's all good. There's a lot of
Yeah,
space to play
yeah.
in.
And I think that's really important message for
Yeah,
somebody like who wants to just keep, who wants to go, 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 next, next, next.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a really important, you
I
know,
get it.
for me.
I get it. I totally get it. I've definitely been there myself, but our books have like this gorgeous like lifetime, longer than our lifetime. Our books stay behind after we've gone. So that's what's so amazing about them. I mean, if someone's listening to this, pal, and they are thinking, or they've been feeling that there's a book in them, and maybe they've had similar experiences at school, in education, where they've picked up the message of like, oh, no, this is not, you're not a writer, it's not for you. What would you say to somebody who's feeling the call to go on this journey?
Well, I think if we understand our heart's messages, the deep calling from within, then it's because it's your truth. It's
Yeah,
it's a calling for a reason.
yeah,
And so life is about learning to trust that voice and that feeling, however that shows up, be it in your
mm,
body, that feeling. And so, as scary as it can be, because your head wants to say no, 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 because I would say it's not even only about writing the book. It's about life. That is a life message
yeah,
that when you have a calling or you have a deep feeling and
yes,
and it's your truth and you know it is, but it's scaring you
mm,
because it means that you have to trans whatever the verse, get beyond it,
yeah,
work through it, right? So that's a life message. So it can be book writing, it can be whatever it is, but that's a life message.
yes,
It's an opportunity, it's an invitation to step up, to take a leap, to move, to let go of the old, shift into a new surprises. So that's life
yeah,
message. That's a
yeah,
life. So it may be the book, but it can be anything in your life. If that's the step and the direction that you are due to take next in terms of your life's growth and experiences. So, and that feeling can often be a scary one.
yeah, yeah. For
That,
one reason or another, it may not be what we've just spoken about, your history of writing. It could be something else for you. But yeah, it very likely will have some fear attached to it because you're stepping into something new, something you've never done before. So
that's right.
yeah,
Right. And everything is screaming, no, who do you think you are? oh, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, well, as scary as it is, yeah, you're gonna come through it. You can't avoid it anyway. Because when you avoid it, it shows up in ways that you don't like.
Exactly. So you might as well just get
Yeah,
on the
might as
train,
well,
do the thing.
might as well get on that train.
Get on it. Oh my goodness. Every time we talk, I was like, oh yeah, it'll be about 20 minutes. I think we've done like 30 minutes already. I could talk to you literally all day. Like, and I know we will have many more conversations. But for now, pal, if someone's listening to this and they're like, I want to know more about this woman, I want to connect with her, what's the best way for people to do that?
Website,
Hmm.
pearljewels.com. I'm going to say the words Instagram at the Royal Pearl Jordan. The Royal Pearl Jordan.
Absolutely. Pearl is an Instagram queen or queen in the making. Like, it's a whole other layer of transformation.
Whole, whole other layer. That in itself is a book.
She will be, her next book will be Instagram. Yeah, Instagram for.
Dancing to the rhythm of your life. The Instagram way. Sorry, the film was too long. I just didn't know how to edit it, but I gave you warning. Sorry, I pressed a heart. I didn't know what it meant. Couldn't delete it. Sorry.
Don't apologize. Never
And then
apologize.
you know what? Find your rhythm and stick to it. At least it's yours.
Exactly. Follow Pearl's journey over there. We will put the link in the show notes. Oh, thank you so much for being in the Unbound Writers Club, for being such like a pivotal member of the Unbound writing community, like one of our originals. It's just such a joy to have been on this journey with you, to continue on the journey as
Oh, yeah.
your book and you and us, we go on tour.
Go on tour.
Let's see what happens next.
We go on tour. Keep an eye out for any information about the Royal Tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh gosh, yeah, watch out.
Watch out, world. Thanks so much, pal.
Thank you, Nicola. Always a joy.
So much, so much.